I know I have to be probably the 100th person to say it so far, but welcome to Indy.
I appreciate it.
That's just Hoosier hospitality.
Yes.
We have to say that first and foremost. Coach, this was such a highly competitive offseason with the number of coaching vacancies and coordinator roles available. Why Indy for you?
Well, first of all, it starts with Shane. Great respect for him and his leadership and what he's done. And every time we've gone against him and his schemes, it's always given us trouble. And love the organization and just happy to be here.
Shane led this process with the support of Chris Ballard. What did you learn about Shane throughout this process and that dynamic, which is going to put you in the position in this defense to succeed?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time when I came to visit with both Shane and Chris, and it was fantastic. Just getting to know Chris because I hadn't known him. Shane, obviously we knew each other a little bit, but you just learn more about it when you're sitting there talking football and the wants and needs and how they see it, and we were very much in line on those things.
The amount of time in your coaching career that you've spent across the Midwest, early on at Purdue and then of course most recently at Cincinnati, was this always a job or a team, a franchise that was on your radar?
It's so funny. When I was at Purdue, I remember we would be having to go out recruiting, and I would be driving down to the airport, and I would listen to the Indy games. It seemed like you're always on the road at down in Jacksonville or in Tennessee or somewhere, and so it was always in the back of my mind. I wonder what it would be like to work right there, or see the sign for the facility on the way back, heading up 65 North. So it's always been around me, and now here I am.
Let's go now. Let's go now. Let's go now. Stay right there, Josh. Stay right there, Josh. We need you.
You mentioned going up against Shane, going up against his offenses. What is it about his philosophy and his scheme offensively that complement the approach you bring in from a defensive standpoint?
Yeah, I think both of us like being multiple. And I think that, the fact that he's that way on O and we're certainly going to be that way on defense and just not giving the same picture, it creates a number of issues for us on defense, what they do, and certainly we're going to try to do the same.
Ah! Go get another one. Let's go get another one.
Both you and Shane have gone to Super Bowls as coordinators, you with Cincinnati and with Philadelphia. What have you learned about building the culture that it takes to consistently win and win big in this league?
Hey, come on now. Hey!
I think it's so important because, when things are going good, everybody's on board and everybody's happy, and you're going to go give your best. I think even on the Super Bowl teams, back-to-back AFC Championship games, there's going to be times in the year where it's the ebbs and flows of the season where things don't go so great and you're in a 2-game losing streak, whatever, and it'll be the leaders and the culture that'll pull you out of it.
Let's stay on them now. Communicate, guys. Let's go.
This year at Cincy, things weren't going so great. We're 4-8, and we end up winning 5 in a row, beat 2 playoff teams that at the end, Denver and the Steelers. Why? Because of the guys and the coaches that we had in that room.
And you inherit a group with a lot of veteran leadership, and you have past and present Pro Bowlers at every level of this defense: DeForest Buckner, Zaire Franklin, Kenny Moore II. What does that tell you about the group that you inherit and the foundation that there is?
Well, I've already spoke with a bunch of them, and you can just hear the excitement in their voice about just the pride that they have in this group and how they want to play well, and nobody feels good about anytime you don't make the playoffs. Nobody's feeling good about anything. So I think they're excited, and I know I am, to get started working with those guys. But it's huge that we have what you said, those type of guys at each level of the defense.
What is that feeling you get when guys are so eager to reach out and want to connect with you?
Yeah, it's a great feeling because, I know some guys have talked to some of the guys from Cincy and just to get a better feel for things about me, and that's part of it. How's this going to be? But it's been great so far, so good.
I've had conversations with a number of the players leading up to this, and they've all said not only it's your approach to game day, the scheme that you run, but the expectations that you have and what you implement day to day from a practice and a meeting standpoint. What do practices and meetings look like with a Lou Anarumo defense?
I just think it's going to be holding everybody to the same standard, and we're going to set that as coaches and as leaders that no one is going to be beyond approach. And to me, that's I can only speak to where I've been. So If Trey Hendrickson would do something wrong, he's going to hear about it, you know, or an undrafted rookie free agent, you know, he's going to hear about it. So I think that's how you have to approach it. When the guys see that there are no favorites, you know, and you're going to hold everybody to the same standard, I think it sets the right approach, sets the right tone. We're always asking the players to be consistent, from coaches to players. Well, they got to get the same from us. We have to be the same guy every day and let them know that I'm here to tell them the truth.
I know you've only been here a few days, but you've already done a lot of research on the roster, on the guys. They've been doing their homework on you too. I talked to a number of them who said they've been watching YouTube videos about you explaining your scheme. They've watched other players talk about you as a coach. One vet told me, I wish I had the playbook right now. What does that tell you and indicate about the excitement?
Yeah, it's great to hear, you know, and I'm super positive that, super excited, I should say, to get going. You know, the rules are the rules, so we got a ways to go yet, but I can't wait to get going. It's great to hear.
And the analysts have talked so much about your adaptability within the scheme. Players have mentioned the excitement to get more pressure up front, create more takeaway opportunities. In your own words, what are the hallmarks of this defense and what we should expect to see?
I think it's guys that are going to play smart, first and foremost. We don't ever want to beat ourselves. Guys that are playing really, really fast up front and in the back end, and then we're going to be the most physical team on the field. And if you can do those three things, you're not going to beat yourself by playing smart. You're going to run around and play free and fast. And then this is football. Generally speaking, the most physical team is going to win, and that's something we got to hang our hat on.
Well, I'm going to echo what I heard from a number of the vets already. Excited to have you here in Indianapolis.
Excited to be here.